and
Went
got
live.
notes. Alrighty, we're live.
We are.
On Twitch.
Okay. Ready? We're going to do this clap in 3, 2, 1.
Clap, clap, clap.
Dope. All right.
Let me wet my whistle here a little bit.
Let me hit these two definitely the same vapes.
They look the same.
You know that's right.
Is this when we get the Xana Cloud in the chat?
Sure. Okay. Here we go. Hello.
Here we go.
Hello, listeners. This is Barely ADS, the show where we shoot from the hip. I'm your host, Xanafan711, and with me tonight is I Make Him Quack.
That's me.
What's up, dude? It's just the two of us, so let's.
I know
Let's throw the format to the wind, at least for right now. How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is like intimate show.
Is.
Just the two of us and our beautiful, beautiful listeners. We've got the best listeners,
Yeah.
don't we, folks?
We do. And you know that because you are one of them. You can also be one of the people watching live at twitch.tv/barelyads. Band of the week this week is I Love Your Lifestyle. You can find them at iloveyourlifestyle.bandcamp.com. If you want your band or anything on the show, shoot us an email to barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at barelyads. Or if you want to talk to us real time, you can find a link to the Discord at our website, barelyads.com. There's also on that website a link to the YouTube where we would really hope that you'd go hit the subscribe, even though we barely post things on there. We still do post things on there. And we also occasionally post things to patreon.com/barelyads. Not exclusively yet because we're late, but eventually, for sure. You
got to remind me after the show. I've got an idea for another one.
Oh, hell yeah.
So a little weird, a little off the cuff.
Yeah. Let's do it. Because I don't know if And Then You Play D&D is going to work out as well as I thought. Because scheduling is a nightmare.
Yeah, getting two people to show up at the same time on the same night.
Yes.
You'd have to be a big podcast like Potato Thumbs to do that.
Right. Indeed. Which
it is a shame to hear about the awards, but you know,
they still don't know.
Rules.
They still don't even know.
Yeah, they posted about it in our chat.
When Jay said something, but not. I don't think they actually listened to it yet.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Fluffy would have added me by now, and I'm very comfortable just talking about them this much in the open because I know they don't listen because it's been a week, and they still haven't said anything about.
And I mean, we know they won't listen, and so if they find out, we know it's you viewers. We know that you're snitching.
Yeah.
And you don't snitch. Okay. This is just between the three of us, me, Zan, and you, the listener that's listening right now.
Right. So Jay posted podcast playlist winner. That's all it said. So Fluffy and Nips are under the impression right now that Jay won the podcast playlist of the year for 2019 award. They really have no idea the extent of the horror that they're about to find out if they ever listen to that last episode, because we still didn't say.
I wouldn't say. That'd be snitching.
Yeah, exactly. Even though we're the ones who announced it. Actually,
well, we're just
you were the one that announced it.
I black out whenever I read things, so I don't think you can hold me accountable to that.
All right. Well, what I can hold you accountable for is this fitness challenge. Speaking of potato thumbs, guys, and we're a team, Teamy Weemy. The laziest team name ever, and it's also fantastic sounding.
It's also a great one for your pub trivia name because there's nothing better than the announcer having to say like 15 times in a night, I need your answer, Teamy Weemy, to a
Yeah.
bar full of slightly intoxicated adults.
Yeah. So we put our goals in there for our fitness challenge, including both of us beat Sekiro,
Yeah.
because your heart beats so fast when you're playing that game. It might as well be a workout, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That, and with as sweaty as my palms get, I have to be working out something because there's no way I can produce that volume of sweat
Right.
if I'm not doing something.
I feel it. I feel it. I went for my second run of my starting to work out again today, and I can tell right now I am barely. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to walk tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll happen on the first one back.
Yeah.
My focus is, and has been for a while now, is just doing one thing at a time, like focusing on one small thing that I can do. So right now I'm just adding volume to my lifting, and when I get my volume to a spot where it's about where my body can recover from without me getting tired and blown out and stuff, then I'll start focusing on maybe diet or something, but
Yeah.
one thing at a time. So just working hard right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is running for 30 minutes, 3 times a week. That's my. That's not a small thing though. Then I'll start adding small things.
I mean, that's one like singular goal that you can focus on though. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people stumble when they especially with fitness, because it's something where people instinctively know all of the things that they have to do right and go, well, I'll just do all of them right all at once. But you are just shifting your entire lifestyle around. And a lot of times none of it's going to stick if you do it like that. So I've been of the mindset of I'm going to have one singular goal at a time. And when that is something that I've achieved and I can continue, then you can add one more thing.
Yeah.
But if you try and fix your diet, add 30 minutes of running every day, hit the weight room 3 times a week, and start cooking your own meals, like, sorry, you're burning out in 5 weeks,
Yeah.
if that.
Yep. And that's why I started back on my more strict eating patterns, which is, to me, it's not a diet, it's my normal. I've just been cheating too much. I did that a week and a half ago. So, like, yeah. And then I added in the running later. But yeah, I'm excited. Gonna drop some weight and get stronger.
Yeah. The diet wasn't too much for me just because as soon as I started getting back to the weight room, like the other habits just came back with it. So where I had been kind of eating like shit, I was like, okay, I'm back in the weight room. I can't be just wasting my time eating like shit now. So
Yeah.
just as soon as I was back, I was like, all right, and I'm back to meal prepping stuff. But as I get to a point where I'm like, man, I'm still chubby, because I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get to a spot where I'm lifting pretty consistently and muscular wise I'm doing well, but I'm like, I'm just chubby.
Yeah.
Time to cut down the portions a little bit.
Yep.
Still eat all the good stuff, just not so much of the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the good stuff, we had some new good stuff drop this week, and we're all playing it. Some
We had
Ghost of Tsushima.
some real good stuff.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This game is probably the most beautiful video game I've ever played.
So I got a point about this. When I read all of the reviews and heard reviews from people that had the advanced copy, and the first thing that everyone said was, "Oh my god, it's so pretty." I was like, "Don't even give me that."
Right.
I've got a PC. I'm playing all sorts of motherfucking games on it, right?
Yeah.
Don't give me this PS4 is going to blow you away with beautiful, but god damn,
Right.
is this thing beautiful. It is, I would say, the best utilization of the PS4 hardware that we've seen.
Right. Because the Last of Us Part 2 was like right about there too. It's just a different art style. I think
Yeah.
graphically they're about the same. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that art direction and art style is hands down the best I've ever seen in a video
Have
game.
you noticed how the your gameplay impacts the environment as well and the
Yeah.
art style?
Mm-hmm.
Because that, listeners, we gotta tell you right now, Ghost of Tsushima is probably the reason I'm not going to buy another Assassin's Creed game, because there's no way they could come even close to what this game is.
Yes.
This thing has got the wonderful feeling of stealth taking down a compound. You know what I'm talking about. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed,
Yep.
they've all got it. This bad boy does it in spades. You can do
Yep.
it all stealth. You can also ride up like the badass samurai you are, take your sword out and say, "Send me your strongest dude, 1v1 me, bro," and
Yep.
just kick the door down swinging. And that is perfectly viable. Now, even cooler, if you choose to do one or the other, if you're going stealth, the environment will change. It'll start to rain. It'll start to storm a little bit. Everything will get darker. It'll turn to night
Mm-hmm.
quicker, so you're stealthing in the dark. And then when you flip that switch and you go to full on samurai mode, things become more vibrant. It becomes brighter out. You get more saturation in the colors, and the music changes. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And that also corresponds with the main theme of the game, which is not a
Hmm.
spoiler. You're a samurai, you have a samurai code, and you're supposed to stick to that code. However, the Mongols have taken over your entire island and captured your uncle. So, and you're like the only one left. You're the last samurai, basically. You ain't killing the whole Mongol army by yourself with following that samurai code. Not happening, right? So you have to improvise and break that code. You have to. Like, there's no way around it. You have to, you
Yeah.
know?
I
And
I mean, I think you could. I think this is one of those games where you could get good enough at the combat to where gameplay wise, you could not use any of the stealth stuff,
but
but
it break the
it would be
story if you
be
did
tough.
that, though.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because
I
then,
mean, it would make the story seem silly when every single time you're like, "Oh, go sneaky." I don't think so.
right. So, yeah, I think they really got it right when it comes to, like, the gameplay is great. It's very reactive. It's challenging, but not too difficult. Um, the side quests are all really interesting, like
Hmm.
actually interesting side quests, and there's purpose to them. All the little stop and collect things, it's not cool. Now you got the thing. They kind of took a page from Spider-Man with the backpacks, where it's like you get a backpack, you get like towards a suit or something like that. Like every
Hmm.
single one, the Fox dens help you get charm slots, and like killing leaders help you get what is it? The next
The fighting
yeah,
stances.
the next stance. It like all has an RPG reason behind it too. So, and it's not. It feels huge, but lived in at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
would say the lived-in feel is not quite far the Witcher sets, but it's
right.
definitely higher than average.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of environmental story happening. It's all with the
Right.
people still. That's the
Yeah.
only place they might have been able to pick it up a notch. Um, yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic. The story, I mean, it feels like a video game still,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's totally a video game. And the story is like not it's not great. It's really good, you know?
Yeah.
So like I see where The Last of Us 2 got 10s and this is getting 9s and 9.5s. Like that makes sense to me. But it is a 9 or a 9.5. So,
Yeah, I think when it comes to game awards, this will be one that ends up on Game of the Year discussion. I don't think it'll win it. I think that Last of Us 2 is kind of the darling for
yeah.
that award,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think this is going to be one of the games on the list.
It's going to
The
get art
combat,
direction. No way it
Yeah,
doesn't.
let's talk about the combat a little bit,
Yeah.
because I thought what they've done with it is pretty interesting and really builds on itself to make a way that you can really express yourself through the combat. So,
Yeah.
um, there are like four different kinds of enemies that you fight throughout. Some of them have a sword, some have a sword and a shield, some of them have big, heavy two-handed weapons, and then there's these brute guys.
Yeah.
And
Spears and brutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
spears and brutes. And you have four different fighting stances that you use with your sword, and so each one corresponds to a different enemy type.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, you're not fighting one person at a time. So in between fighting different people, you're juggling the stance you're in and the combos that you do. They're all pretty similar, but there's slight differences to the combos
Yeah.
and things you can do. Um, and with that, you also have a whole slew of skills and abilities. So
Mm-hmm.
I've used the smoke bomb a whole lot,
Oh
where
my God, it's
start
my
a fight
favorite.
and just go to town, kill a couple guys, and as you start getting surrounded, pop a smoke bomb down on the ground, and then immediately run to the edge and start stealth killing people before you initiate combat again. It's real nice. It's also a little bit of a get out of jail free when you're getting whooped on.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you'll die quick.
yeah. What are you playing this on? Are you playing this on hard?
No, I started on hard and then I dropped it down because I was like, I'm not trying to make this game just take longer. Once I realized it was going to
Yeah.
be a pretty long game, um, so I just dropped it down. If it starts to get too easy, I might make it to hard. But I'm still playing Sekiro, so like,
Yeah.
uh,
You've got
I
the challenge.
yeah, I've got the challenge elsewhere, and that's another thing that I really like about this game too. Is it's like I can put it down. And I need that to be a thing so that I can finish it in the long run because I get
Yeah.
open world fatigue real bad. So I've just been like, when I recognize I'm getting open world fatigue, I will switch games to Sekiro or like EverQuest 2 or something,
Hmm.
and then just pick it up again the next day.
And that was going to be my question with the difficulty, is if it was too easy, because I've been playing on hard, and I think there's only been one time so far where I've died more than twice in a row and had to be like, okay, I got to actually learn this guy's move set. And it was when you're getting the Heavenly Strike Divine
Okay.
Power. I'm not super far into it, but when you have the one-on-one battle with the guy, because he could basically two-shot me on hard. And
Yeah.
so that was one where it was like, you got to get his timings down pretty hard. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even then, it was maybe 10 minutes before I got it. So not super challenging on the hard end, especially coming from playing Sekiro.
Yeah.
Um, but it's good to know that the normal is not just an absolute cakewalk.
Oh yeah, no. And like the only reason I switched it is because I was like, these fights are just taking a long time. Like,
Yeah.
because you have to. They're gonna block you a lot more. Is really what it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And in regular, you just gotta turn them, kind of like get behind them or uh, get a perfect parry or a perfect dodge. You know, one of those
Hmm.
three, and you basically have them killed by that point. And that's what I want out of a samurai movie, like old school samurai movie style video game, because you're not there to you're the in that mindset. You're supposed to dunk on everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. And it's still like it's not easy, but it's not really hard either.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but what I really like about the combat is, like you said, you can kind of make it your own. So I've been mostly doing, like, I use the smoke bomb offensively. So what I'll do is I'll run in and I'll get my backstab on the first dude, and you know how they're kind of like tiered. So there'll be like one
Hmm.
guy, and then there'll be like two guys behind. Then I'll throw kunai and kill those two guys there, and then by that point the next group of two or three has probably noticed what's going on and they're starting to come over. I'll smoke bomb and then stealth kill all three of them and then just get out and then do something similar again, or like switch it to a bow or something like that. So I'm actually going way more stealth, and I'm to make it harder on myself, I'm using the stealth like robes too, so I don't have any armor.
Oh, yeah, yeah. See, and I've been probably going more the other path where um, about half the time I will start off with stealth, but I almost always finish just juggling a crowd of people and going combat.
Yeah.
And I haven't even been parrying a whole lot. I've been blocking when I need to, but a lot of my gameplay has just been dodging, and then there's the quick slash on the dodge,
Hmm.
and that thing just tears people open because when you get the perfect dodge, you get a free strike there, and then if you get the perfect one, they are completely turned around and you get a second free strike. And
Yeah.
once you get two, you're pretty much taking that guy out because the enemies really can't take a lot of unguarded hits
No,
before they drop.
like 3 or 4, most of them.
Yeah.
Um, I like the move too. Like, so you say you do your perfect dodge and then you hit them with square real quick. If you hold square after that hit, you can like pause. So then once they try and get their composure and come at you, it's just like the what do you call it? The standoff where you hold down
Yeah.
triangle. It's just like
Yeah.
that, but with square because and it has to come after a move with square because you have to be able to push it down, right? So he'll like
Mm.
swing and then hold his sword down here, and then as soon as the guy attacks, he like comes in a weird angle back or something like that. It's
Yeah, I have not unlocked that one. I spent a lot of my early skill points getting the triple standoff because that is just so powerful to be able to ride up to an encampment, especially if there's like four guys and insta kill three of them, and then it's you and one guy, and you're like, oh, you are gonna have such a bad day today.
see, yeah, my version of that is the I can throw 3 kunai at once and can carry
Hmm.
6. Um, so I'll just stand off and then throw 2 kunai, which will be six total, and they're all dead. And then I'll just get
Yeah,
back on my horse. It's great.
I really like the way that this game gives you stylish ways to do combat that are a little bit cheap in that like
Mm-hmm.
the early encounters when you're fighting two or three people, you're like, oh my God, how am I ever going to handle this many people? And then you get a little bit leveled up and you're like, oh, there's 6 guys here. Man, I'm going to style on them.
Yep. You just have to know when to run away and kind of like you got to kite them a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a lot of crowd management, which
Mm-hmm.
if you're someone who just wants to run in and smash attack over and over, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of fun with it, if I'm honest. It's more of a you've got 6 guys and you can't let them get around you. You got to keep moving to stay on the periphery and take one at a time.
Yep. Because you have to block from the front mostly,
Yes.
just
And
like in Sekiro.
one of the things that I think this has to be a deliberate design decision to not have a lock on in the game.
Oh yeah, because that is driving me nuts. That would make it so much easier. A lock on?
I
Oh
think,
my gosh, I would
yeah, a
destroy
lock on
fools.
would make the game, I think, almost trivial because a lot of the game, while there are definitely times where the camera is awful, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the time when you're fighting, being able to pan it so you get it lined up correctly really makes the combat feel smooth and like you're really uh, actually controlling the character rather than just sending him inputs.
Yeah. Um, Unlike in Sekiro where the camera is the worst. Oh my gosh, it's
Oh,
so bad.
it is really the boss of that game. The final boss in Sekiro is the camera.
Yeah, if you get stuck against the wall or anything, you're just done because you can't put the camera anywhere that'll work. You just have to get yourself out of that corner. But usually the boss is right on top of you, and you're just like spamming left bumper the whole time and dodge. Just like no, 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 because I
Please,
can't.
please, please.
Yeah, I can't see to know when he's hitting me. um, but yeah, that was a pretty good review of Ghost, I think. So let's
Yeah.
transition into. I played a little Sekiro um, just today. No, I played twice this week. So I last we talked, I had beaten Genshuru, and I got kind of lost for a while. I couldn't figure out where I needed to go. Once I figured that out, the first thing that I came across was the ape.
Oh yeah, the guardian ape.
Yeah. So that actually I got done in like 6 or 7 tries, I think.
Oh, okay, not
Yeah.
that bad at all.
No. He's hard, but he's like a lot easier to read, and
Yeah.
it's a vitality battle
Hmm.
mostly because you're not gonna parry a whole lot of things. Um, and then today I hopped on and I beat like a mini boss Spectre lady, um, and that one took like three
Oh,
or four
Rin of the
tries.
Lake.
Yeah. Then the monk phantom guy, that one took
Yep.
like 6 or 7 tries, I think. Um, and then the like main castle area totally changed, and like I have to re-get all those sculptors idols, so it like is reusing that level, but you
Hmm.
kind of already know where you're supposed to go, but now there's new enemies there too. It's like it's pretty neat. um Killed chained ogre, and so that was 3 prayer beads right there, and then got to the top of the tower again finally, and whew, that dude is real hard. I'm not gonna say any story spoilers or anything like that, but hell, it's Sekiro. It's your dad. It's
Yeah.
been out for a year, whatever. It's Sekiro's dad, and he's old, and so it's not like any of the other fights style wise because he's a ninja, and you're mostly fighting samurai in this game. Um,
Hmm.
so he's got a lot of similar moves to you, and it sucks. He'll 1 or 2 hit you, and that's it. You don't get any other chances.
Yeah, you gotta be good.
Yeah, and it's a dodge fight too. It's not a parry fight. It's not a posture fight. It's a dodge fight.
Oh,
That's what makes it difficult because he is fast.
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
Uh, just Ghost and Sekiro for you.
yeah. I've been playing a little EverQuest 2 when I feel like watching TV, but that's about it. Yeah, and
Yeah, I
then
feel you. It's just been Ghost for me, and then Rocket League with the friends, my brother, and the people we normally play with. So
oh yeah, dude.
been grinding away at that. Not a whole lot of ranked, but just playing casual matches, private matches when we've got enough people for teams.
Oh yeah,
Good old standby.
yeah.
All
You
right,
gotta have
let's
one
get
of
into the
those.
news.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you take us through these headlines?
All right. So, headlines. This is the big one, at least for a lot of our listeners. Destiny 2 Beyond Light delayed until November 10th. This coming to us from Bungie. Um, I can't say I'm surprised about this one. Bungie is now independent and has a lot less manpower and man hours to throw at things. And now that they are in full creative control, I think we're going to see delays more often than not
Yep.
from Bungie because they are very perfectionist about what they do, even if everyone thinks that they only release the buggiest shit ever. The sheer scope and size and detail that Destiny has, um, they like to get their things as close to perfect as possible, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a tough launch,
Yeah.
9 days away from Cyberpunk, but
Oof. Yeah. Is it 9 days before or after?
9 days before.
Oh, good. We can get through the campaign that fast. I'm really excited for this, mostly because this is probably the first part of the content that we're going to get that wasn't part of the Activision plan.
Hmm.
You know, like the last 2 years seemed like Activision leftovers a little bit still. And this is, I think, going to be the first content dropped of totally Bungie doing their thing.
Hmm.
A lot of people also don't realize that there's 2 teams at Bungie. There's like the Destiny team, and then there's a team working on another game too. People forget that Matter is happening at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, next headline we've got is layoffs at Microsoft as it begins new fiscal year. This from James Batchelor at gamesindustry.biz. Report suggests less than 1,000 people were affected, and it's unclear if this includes Xbox employees.
Yeah.
Didn't Microsoft's stock go up a bunch this year?
I'm not sure about that, but that would make sense. You know,
Hmm.
they're
So
they
they're
seem to be
making
having a
money
good
and
year.
firing people. You love to see it.
Yeah. However, I'm glad that that number is kind of small compared to some of the other ones we've seen. You know,
Yep.
and that means it might not just be Xbox. You know, it could be that's spread out probably across all of Microsoft. I don't know.
Yep. Next, we've got Dreams wins Game of the Year at Games for Change Festival. If I can talk, it would be amazing. This from Matthew Handrahan at GamesIndustry.biz. I haven't played Dreams. That's the one Ben did for a while, right?
Yeah, Ben has it. He's done some dream
With the
surfing.
like people making levels and then you go find them Mario Maker style, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Except you can make like anything. I don't know how, but supposedly you can.
You have any idea why it was the Games for Change Festival winner?
Because it's like groundbreaking.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Oh, and
So
Ben's in
this
the
next
chat
one.
saying they have VR coming out for it too.
Oh, I don't know if that'll be cool or not. I haven't even seen that. I should probably do my due diligence and look it up. Next headline: Mortal Shell's beta had over 350,000 players. This from Joey McGregor at PC Gamer. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Nice. I can't wait for
People
that to
are
come
really
out.
getting into the Souls style games, and I feel its influence in basically every action RPG on the market.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, Temtem is getting a big update tomorrow, including new monsters and an island from Sean Prescott at PC Gamer. This is that Pokemon MMO type game that's really cute. And if you like Pokemon, you probably like this. It's got a lot of the same kind of things.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. I have a lot of friends who are into it. Last headline, we've got Sony reportedly increasing PS5 production to 10 million units by 2021. This is from James Batchelor at gamesindustry.biz. So they think they're going to be selling 10 million by 2021, or they need to at least have 10 million products out there. So
I wouldn't be
that's
surprised
encouraging.
if they do it. You know, they sold what like 90 million PS4s or something like that. Did they break 100? I don't remember.
I'm not sure about that.
But yeah, tons. So 10 million in the launch window. I see that happen. I see there being a shortage still, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into the stories.
Yeah. So Microsoft resets expectations ahead of Xbox Showcase. This from Brendan Sinclair at GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, no business, devices, or similar news, just games. And the event's going to be live streamed on Thursday, July 23rd. That's probably a good call on their part, considering how poorly received the last one was.
Yeah. I don't think they did a great job with it last time.
No. They said gameplay, and they showed us a bunch of indie games and with barely any gameplay.
Yeah, and most of what they showed us was like not in-game footage either. It was just pre-rendered trailers.
Yeah. So hopefully people aren't pissed, but they'll probably still be pissed.
People are always going to be pissed no matter what.
Right. Next up, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will get Project xCloud access from September. This is from James Batchelor at GamesIndustry.biz. Game Pass Ultimate, which already includes the Game Pass library and Xbox Live membership, will have Project xCloud added for free. This will allow Ultimate subscribers to play Game Pass titles on phones and tablets in a similar way to how Google Stadia works. They're even still interested in an Xbox All Access subscription, which will include a Series X and Game Pass Ultimate. The previously suggested pricing model equated to paying off an Xbox One console in 2 years. Yes, that last part is an Xbox Series X with Game Pass Ultimate for whatever the monthly price is. It'd probably be somewhere between $40 and $50 a month.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That actually makes Xbox look more interesting as a platform.
Oh yeah, Xbox is doing a lot of cool stuff to create a modern video game platform, you know? Like
Yeah.
when the future of gaming starts, they're already probably going to be there cuz this is going to kill Stadia.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that makes me wonder here, and the thing I think about, is a lot of times you see teams and companies chase technology in video games, and I don't ever think that's the thing that actually sells, because the things that are technically insane don't necessarily always make the best games,
Right.
or even if it makes them more accessible. I think, like we've said on this show many times, the thing that sells consoles especially is games, first party games that are not available on the other console. And if Microsoft is chasing, technological things like this, then yeah, you're right, it's probably going to kill Stadia. I don't think this is taking a bite out of what PlayStation is selling, though, if I'm being real.
No, that's why. Well, and that's why I'm gonna buy a PlayStation 5 and probably get Game Pass Ultimate for my PC, and play pretty much all of the Game Pass games on that. But that still puts me in the Microsoft ecosystem, and that's all they want. That's what they're going for, you know.
That's true. They are trying to get the storefront to be more prevalent in the marketplace.
Yeah. So I don't know. We have no idea what kinds of Xbox first party exclusives we're going to be getting, because they just bought a ton of studios, and we'll probably start seeing the games for that mid 2021 on, depending on how long they've been working on it, you know. So
it's just always a worry for me, because you are going to let the first half of the year for the console go out without any first parties coming out that are exclusive. That is just letting PlayStation off the line without starting, even though you heard the gun go off.
Yeah. I mean, Halo Infinite, if they can pull it off, that would be a big one to launch with.
I just don't know that Halo turns the needle for anyone anymore. The thing is that things like games outside of Call of Duty and sports franchises, the more games you put out, the worse sales tend to do. Like, people don't want another Halo, or the people who do are the people who are already playing Halo. You're not going to get new butts in seats,
right?
Unless you've got new IPs, as far as I'm concerned.
Or they completely overhaul it to change it. Like if Halo Infinite is a looter shooter more akin to Destiny, then that's a lot different. Maybe people will check that out.
I don't see it going that way. I think we're going to get another Halo, and people are going to be like, yeah, it's a really, really polished Halo.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is a weird one.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. Logic signs to Twitch exclusively. This from Bijan Steven at The Verge. The deal is worth 7 figures, and he'll be required to stream a certain number of hours a week. Logic doesn't consider himself a rapper, and he's very into video games anyway, so he believes he'll easily exceed his required hours. Logic hates social media to the extent that he doesn't really even read his business phone texts and has a company to manage his Twitter account. He believes Twitch will be his paradise because of the moderation tools and the ability to customize his chat to weed out harassment. Signing to Twitch does not mean he'll be coming back to music, even though his first stream will be an album release for his newest and last LP.
Yep, he in the span of a couple days announced his next album, that it would be his last, and that he was retiring from making music and is now going to be a streamer.
Yep.
Not a turn I saw to see someone who sells millions of records, or at least gets millions of listens on Spotify and tours worldwide, to go, you know what I really want to do? I want to stream.
Yeah, because he's not going to be making music on his channel, pretty much.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Crazy world we live in.
All right, next up. After The Last of Us Part 2 Insanity, Metacritic has changed user score submissions. This from Paul Tassi at Forbes. If you logged on to Metacritic to check out the review scores for Sony's newest exclusive, Ghosts of Tsushima, you may have noticed there was not a user score next to the 83 critic score on launch day. Instead, there was a message that said, quote, "Please spend some time playing the game. Come back to review it starting at noon Pacific time on July 18th. This put 39 hours between the release of the game and when user review scores would be received. And it's no big surprise, as The Last of Us Part 2 got review bombed on their site within hours of the game's launch because people were mad about the leaks and what was spoiled in the leaks, and didn't take the time to play the game to realize that only the first hour of the game had been spoiled.
Yep. I think that this is long overdue. Last of Us 2 was certainly not the first game to get review bombed.
Nope.
And I mean, we've talked about review bombing in the past as far as it goes ethically.
Yeah.
But it, especially when it's so manufactured to be people mad about a game they haven't played because it was ruined for them, but they don't even know to what extent it was ruined, is silliness.
Because it was barely ruined.
I mean, it's like sometimes you meet people where if there's a movie that's coming out, they're like, dude, don't even show me the trailer. And you're like, you don't even want to see the premise? They're like, no, I just want to go into the movie. And you're like, do you know if you're going to like it? Yeah, I'm going to like it. Then why don't you want to see the trailer? It's going to ruin the whole movie. No, it's not. If it was a trailer, they're not going to show you the twist at the end of the movie in the trailer.
Yeah. Right. They didn't want, I mean, this spoiler they didn't want out, obviously, but, and to be honest, it would have been review bombed an hour later than it did if it didn't get spoiled, probably, because people are just,
salty.
Yeah. Anyway, more salty people.
Someone that sends salt in a more positive direction.
Yeah. Red Dead Online fans are dressing up as clowns to protest Rockstar. This from Patricia Hernandez at Polygon. Red Dead fans are pissed off because it's been almost a year since Rockstar has added anything meaningful to Red Dead Online. In order to peacefully and respectfully show their dismay, players organized an in-game flash mob in which all videos or streams would have players dressed as clowns in order to express to Rockstar that they would like more content. And there's like a little ironic joke to this too, is because fans of Rockstar games, when mad at the devs, will call them clowns. But they keep playing those games, which in turn makes them clowns. So it fits.
So they all dressed up as clowns and said, look, we play the game and we really love it. We just would like more stuff to do, which, as it turns out, is probably more productive because you're having fun than going to Metacritic and typing in all caps, game sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this next one, Summer Games Fest, the July showcase. This coming from Jeff Keighley and the whole Summer Games Fest thing that they have in San Francisco every year, but because it's pandemic year, it's online.
And spread out over 3 months instead of 3 days.
I took some notes. I wasn't able to get through all of it as I was watching, but it seemed like most of the big stuff, and this is an indie showcase, of course, so the big stuff is not all that big, was at the start of the conference. So the first one we got was Rogue Company, which we had seen at Nintendo Direct. And when the trailer went, it turned out that today is actually going to be an early release launch. So Rogue Company is out now. The 20th is the date for that. And it's the sister developer to the team that makes Smite, the MOBA game, right?
So it has something to do with Hi-Rez.
Yeah, it's their sister company basically.
Okay.
And it's a third-person competitive shooter, kind of in the layout of Valorant, Counter-Strike, plant the bomb and defend the site sort of thing. And it is cross-play across all 4 platforms: PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. And they say it's 60 frames per second on all consoles, including the Switch, both handheld and docked.
That's crazy.
So not crazy good graphics, as you can tell by the fact that it's 60 FPS on Switch, but it looks like if you have friends and you want to play something that's a little shooty kind of game, it looks pretty cool. Looks neat. I might try it out. I think it's free. I wasn't.
Yeah, probably. All their games are free. Paladins is free. Smite is free.
Yeah. This next one, this is an exciting one. Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition is coming out to Xbox Series X and PS5 later this year. And Overcooked All You Can Eat is going to be Overcooked 1, 2, and all of the DLC remastered and put into the Overcooked 2 engine in 4K and with online matchmaking so you can play with your friends. You don't have to play couch co-op anymore. You can play Overcooked and hate your friends from afar.
Wow. That's dope. That's going to sell a lot more copies of Overcooked.
Yeah. Those games are very fun. Their big shortcoming is not being able to link up with your friends to play. But I think that as far as a Friday night, have a couple beers party game, Overcooked is pretty high up there because it is silly and it is frenetic, and you will be screaming in the first 10 minutes. Angrily, but screaming.
Angry screaming.
Then there was a short little trailer, Smite Tsukiyomi, coming in August 2020. I wasn't entirely sure what that was. They had a couple people doing battle, maybe new characters or something, an expansion. Like then this next one, Ghost Runner. It's a first-person platformer. It's really, really fast-paced parkour, melee action, and it reminds me of a first-person Hyper Light Drifter, kind of.
Okay.
Heavy cyberpunk themes, and this is going to be one of those games where you die a lot because any one hit from an enemy's gun or weapons is an insta-kill. Landing wrong is an insta-kill, but it's like you practice and learn the level to get that one perfect fluid run where you're dashing around the level, slashing your enemies with a sword, leaping from wall to wall and grappling hooking around. Coming later this year to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It looked cool.
Nice.
Then we've got one, Tunchi. This is like a beat 'em up game, like Castle Crashers-esque looking. It looks like the combat's a little deeper than Castle Crashers, which is not hard to do. It was really stylish, though. The animations, I think, are all hand-drawn.
Oh, cool.
Or done frame by frame. And it's an Amazonian theme. It's developers out of Peru, so all of the bosses are like Amazonian mythic creatures and stuff. Really interesting flair to it. I liked the look of that one. Then we had a little thing on Girls Make Games. It's a summer camp in the San Francisco Bay Area where girls come out and learn how to make games. Each year, the top games are judged, and the winning game gets kickstarted and professionally developed. So they showed off 2 previous winners. The first one was Find Me. It was a platformer inspired by Limbo. You play as a shadow that has lost the person they're attached to, so you have to not get touched by light from windows or street lamps as you go through the level. And this one was actually one of the largest kickstarted ones out of Girls Do Games with $30,000. So it looked pretty smooth. And then the other one was Dreaded Secrets, and this was another platform game in a middle school, and it had a really strong like anti-bullying inclusion sort of theme going about it. And I believe the girls who were making this one were a little bit younger than the other one, so it did not look near as polished to me. But I think it looks like a cool little fun indie game. Then we got some stuff from Goose Game. It is going to be releasing a limited edition, and all of their future games are going to be coming out in eco-friendly recycled packaging. And the limited edition is going to be coming out with a map of the town, some other stuff, and a soundtrack for the game, which was phenomenal, kind of jazzy stuff, and it'll be on vinyl. And all of the vinyl is going to be recycled vinyl as well. They are going all in on the eco-friendly thing. Then we got probably the strangest game I've seen in a really long time. And that game was Airports for Aliens, currently run by dogs. The first note I had was, this is an acid trip, because you're in this airport, but none of the signs are readable, and there are two-dimensional stock photos of dogs that you have to talk to try and navigate. And you can pet the stock photos of the dogs. I don't know. This one, it was weird. It's a puzzle game, I guess. I felt like I was coming down off of a hallucinogen the whole time. Then the next one was pretty slick looking. Unto the End. It's a cinematic 2D action game. Had no HUD, no menus, no map, no loading screens. The combat looked pretty good. A lot of blocking and dodging, but your bog standard stuff. But it kind of looked like a 2D God of War-ish kind of vibe.
Okay.
It looked good though. The idea of having no HUD, no menus, no map, no loading screens, like it's just all one seamless world. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I always thought that was something that, especially with indie games, was like a direction you could start going with it, because with the capabilities of modern PCs and consoles, some of these smaller games, if you can stick everything all in one level and do it, you can get really minimal and make really pretty little art pieces with it. I think of like Journey being one of those, where really minimal loading screens and not a whole lot of direction, not really menus or anything, just a world to go out and experience. And I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
So that's Unto the End. Then we got one from a single guy. It's one guy working on this game, Mundon. It's everything is hand drawn, hand penciled. It's a black and white game, and he described it as full of mystery, horror, strange encounters, and places to explore. Looks spooky. Looks real spooky.
Okay.
And weird. Then we got Grief Helm, 2D action melee game. Looks like a 2D For Honor, basically. You've got high, low, middle attacks, and it's knights versus other characters. You can be on a horse, but it looked like For Honor 2D. Then we got I Am Dead. This was a puzzle adventure game. You have X-ray vision and can see the thoughts in people's heads. And basically this was like, you take a 3D object and you can see each two-dimensional layer of it, and so you can look through things to find items or see what they're made of. You can look inside of people's heads to find thoughts, and you solve puzzles to save the island you're on. I don't know. It looked interesting. I like puzzle games, and it was an interesting approach to like finding things by interacting with items in a way you don't normally interact with items.
Cool.
And we got Figment Creed Valley. isometric puzzle adventure game that takes place in the human mind. You have to go around and manipulate the environment, and manipulating the environment is changing the way that the mind thinks, and by the mind thinking, it changes other parts of the environment. It also looked like it had boss fights.
Interesting.
Looked cool. Check it out if that sounds like your jam. Then we got literally a single screen from this one, which is called Alba, a wildlife adventure, and it looks cutesy, but not a lot of real info there. Then we got Void Train, which was like a first-person shooter, but you had to follow a train through the level, so you could go off of the train, but you had to fight and defend it, and it went from one end of the level to the other. And then the last one I saw was Mechanus, which looked like a puzzle game, like mechanical gear themed. You're a gear with a face, and you're rolling across a gear track, and you solve puzzles to get through the level. It did not look like my kind of game, but I will, if it is coming out and sounds like it's blowing people's minds, I'll check it out.
Right on.
But that is all I had for the Summer Games Fest.
Nice. Well, Quack, if someone told you that before it came out that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order would be a top 20 selling game in June 2020, would you have believed them?
No. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. What about Rainbow Six Siege?
If they had told me that a few years ago, I would have said, isn't that game dying right now?
What about SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated?
Would not be jumping into my list of 20 top selling games.
Well, it was. It was number 19 in June, with Jedi Fallen Order at 15 and Rainbow Six at 12. And then, of course, you got your typicals. Minecraft at 13. Breath of the Wild. Borderlands 3 for some reason. Oh, there was DLC that came out. That's right. But yeah, here's some surprises, though. Number 7, Ring Fit Adventure. They finally restocked it.
Yep. Finally.
Number 4 and 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, respectively.
People are still buying it.
Yep. Mortal Kombat 11 at number 5 is a little bit surprising to me. You think that was because
Didn't they just
Evo?
release something?
I don't know. Do you think maybe it's because Evo was going to happen?
Maybe. Yeah, that one, I'm not sure. I thought maybe they had some new characters come out or something, but I don't know if that warrants people buying the whole new game. Shocker to see that still hanging around.
Yeah. Here's a cool one, though. So Persona 4 Golden was released on Steam this month. So it jumped from last month's sales at being at number 615 to number 18.
Yeah, that's a hell of a jump.
Yeah.
And that was a handheld game only before.
Was it handheld only? I thought
Yeah, it was PS Vita.
Oh, PS Vita. Okay. Yeah. And then there was another one of those too. Ring Fit Adventure was $8.35 last month because they didn't have enough of them. And then it jumped to number 7. And then filling out the top 3, we've got at number 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Nintendo does not report digital sales, by the way. Number 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. No big surprise there. And number 1, Last of Us Part 2.
No shocker.
Did it in 11 days?
Yep. It wasn't it the best selling PS4 game in the first week?
Best selling PS4 exclusive.
PS4 exclusive.
It had
Okay.
it sold more copies in 3 days than Spider-Man did, but I don't know if it's exceeded Spider-Man's total sales yet.
Oh, I just meant in the first week. I thought it had the largest launch week of any PS4 game.
It did, but it was previously held by Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So those are
NPDs.
the NPDs. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah. Oh, and
All
Assassin's
right.
Creed Odyssey at number 20 for some reason.
Yeah. I think people seeing Valhalla were like, I'm going to grab Odyssey and see what this is about. And
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of people in 30 hours like, oh my God, where the fuck is the end of this game?
Yes. It's good, though. It's just way too long.
Yeah.
And like that map is ridiculously big.
That is a game that I would say is indulgent for the sake of being indulgent.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they were like, oh, you fuckers want to see lots of content? Well, how about this?
Yeah. I mean, some people like that. I've heard people
Yeah.
have 300 hours in that game. They just really love that world and stuff, and that's cool. But it wasn't for me.
Not for me either.
Yeah. All right. Who are we brought to you by? Who are we? Wow. Just read it. I can't stop.
This week's episode is brought to you by patreon.com/barelyads, where we make promises that we failed to keep, but for some reason, several of you are still sub to us, and for that, we are eternally grateful. With hosting fees coming up, it's absolutely incredible that you all still support us and want this show to continue. We promise to work harder and do better to provide the extra content that was promised. And one of these days, I'll get an ad read right. That's a promise I'm going to break.
Right. So,
well, usually we do best of the generation, but I feel like it'll be just you asking me one and then me struggling to name games for
I can give you hints. What system do you want to try, though, that we haven't done? Let's see, we can let you just pick.
What did we do last time? We did GameCube, right?
Yeah, GameCube was last time.
And before that, we did. What did we do?
Was it PS2 or regular PlayStation?
I can't remember. You know, let's keep with the Nintendo theme. Let's go with Wii. We'll see what we can do with Wii. I'm almost positive that the first one is going to be Wii Sports.
That would be correct. And
that's because it was packaged with every single one.
Pretty much, yeah. And it sold like hotcakes. Yeah. 82.9 million.
Yeah, that was the game. So knowing Nintendo, I'm guessing there's a Smash Brothers up there, and that one's Brawl.
It's at number 8. Actually.
Oh, that's all the way down at 8.
Yeah, Brawl was not very well liked.
It really wasn't, but I figured just the mass appeal would keep it up high. We're definitely going to have a Mario. The Wii had Mario Galaxy. Is that one?
Number 9.
Number 9. That's lower than Brawl. That's one of the good Marios too.
Yeah. There is a Mario
Zelda
game.
Is it a
the Wii was
Mario?
Yeah, not Zelda.
Was it a Mario Party?
Mario Party 8 is number 11.
Number 11.
And Twilight Princess is number 12. The Wii generation was not good to Zelda.
No, it really was not. Because it had that and then the Skyward Sword.
Yeah. Which
a lot of people didn't like. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a Mario game.
Yes. Galaxy
2 was on the Wii U, right?
And the Wii, but it's not in the top 10.
Yeah. And Mario Maker was Wii U as well, because that one sold hotcakes. So we had Galaxy 2.
Yep.
I don't.
It's think a little more old school. It isn't old school, but it feels
Paper Mario.
Nope.
No.
Its successor on the Switch did not do well. Or the Switch port. I don't know which one it was. I'm just going to tell you at number 4, New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Oh, New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones didn't ever leave enough of a lasting impact for me to even remember that they were games.
Yep. So you've got 3 more in the
Two.
top 5.
Yeah, 3 more in the top 5. Is there no? Because Luigi's Mansion 2 was Wii U.
There's a game that you should know is
Switch.
because it sells like hotcakes every time.
Oh, Minecraft.
No.
No,
No. A Nintendo
it's not
game.
GTA because those don't ever come.
Yeah. Yeah, the top 5 are all first party.
All first party. There's a Pokemon game on there then.
Nope.
Didn't they have a stadium on there or something?
It's not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10.
Nope.
So we've got Mario, Zelda, Luigi. None of those are it.
There's a Mario based game in the top 5.
That's beyond the
Yeah, that's
Super
not
Mario
Super Mario
Brothers.
Brothers Wii.
It's not Party.
Nope.
Sunshine was GameCube because I played the hell out of that one.
Yeah, not Sunshine.
This is embarrassing. I told you this was going to be
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Vroom vroom,
Why
my
did
dude.
you let me do this?
Vroom vroom, my dude.
I'm going to need another hint besides Mario based.
Vroom vroom.
Oh, Mario Kart 7?
Mario Kart
6?
Wii. I think it's 7. Yeah. Because 8
Mario
was a
Kart.
Wii U game, actually. That's number 2. And I'm not going to make you struggle through number 3 and 4, because number 3 is Wii Sports Resort. And number 5, I said 4 earlier, is Wii Play.
Wii Play?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
With Wii Fit coming in at number 6. Wii Party at number 10.
I feel like all of these games combined in my mind to be Wii Fitness.
Yeah.
And in reality, there was a slew of them.
Mm-hmm. Number 16 was Link's Crossbow Training. Interesting.
Wii was not their best console.
That's false. It might not be
mean,
their best, but it's nowhere near their worst. The Wii is one of the better ones. Wii U was one of the worst ones.
I mean, from a coming out with games that were lasting influence to the greater gaming landscape.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Wii was a game that had a gimmick and it did the gimmick really well. But as far as like game design or a lot of the things that Nintendo usually does well, it was not amazing.
Yeah. There was a Monster Hunter game on the Wii. That probably was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be really hard to play.
Try. TRI.
Oh, I did know that.
Michael Jackson, The Experience at number 29. Yeah. Yeah, the Wii was a very, very unique system, but it sold like crazy.
Yeah, especially the first like 2 Christmases that it was out. I remember no one could get one.
Yeah. Apparently, Wii Sports is the 3rd best-selling video game of all time.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me a whole lot. Just because it was in every single box.
Right. So, all right. Well, that was the Wii. I'm glad with just the 2 of us we got that one out of the way. Because, yeah, that was not very impressive. Not very fun list of top 5. So, all right. Well, that's the show, I guess.
There it is.
Yeah. Quack, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at IMake'emQuack. You can find me in the Discord. I'll be the one with a rubber ducky of some sort as my avatar. And you can find me usually once, maybe twice a week on the Twitch, usually around 7:30 to 8 Central Time. That is 1 hour back from God's time.
That's so 8:30 to 9 is what he means.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
For all the non-heathens. All right. You can find me anywhere. You can find me at Xanafan711 and also streaming probably once or twice a week on the channel at random times because I have no idea when. And I usually don't even tweet about it. Anyway.
Turn on your notifications.
Yeah. That site again is twitch.tv/barelyads. You can find all the other things at barelyads on Twitter, barelyads.com, barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com, and patreon.com/barelyads. Don't forget, Band of the Week this week is I Love Your Lifestyle, and you can find them at iloveyourlifestyle.bandcamp.com. And until next week, everybody, remember, wear your mask and Black Lives Matter.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's clap
Let's
again.
get a clap.
All right. We're going to do this clap in 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Yeah, it's going to be just over an hour.
All right. I'm going to try and make it work, but when we did the Skype call and I unplugged my mic, it must have changed my default thing in Audacity again because it was coming through this microphone and not this microphone. So it's really quiet because it was not near my mouth.
So that's why
I should
you
be
were
able to bump it up.
if it's
Dicking with it in the middle of the show. I was like,
yeah. I was like, what is he doing? Yeah.
I think it'll be all right. It usually picks up decent audio.
Yeah.
And if not, we should at least have the stream.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't cut out very much. Oh, we're still streaming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
mine
stop the
was
stream.
pretty